Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I'm your host, Eric Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR. So I started really thinking hard because I was like, it's been a while since WotC promised us that they were going to, I don't know, review previous editions for inclusion in Creative Commons. Now, oh, yeah, look at the screen. Wow, that was March 8th of 2023. So we are pretty much 13 months past that community update. Now, this is the community update that said, hey, we put the SRD 5.1 to Creative Commons, and they fucked that up. Just being honest. And they released some playtest packets of D&D 1's been no longer D&D 1, right? D&D 2024. It's been playtest for a while. Collected feedback via 3 surveys for playtest content, and there's been more surveys since then, not just uh, for playtest purposes. In progress, localized SRD 5.1 in French, Italian, German, and Spanish. Now, when I saw that last year, I realized that something was missing. That's why nothing that surprised me about Portuguese being a market that they're leaving. Brazil, they gave up on the Brazilian the local community managers for Brazil. Was it end of 2022, early 2023? So nothing about Portuguese. Well, this should have been a surprise. They broadcast back then. Review previous editions for inclusion into Creative Commons. Well, that was hey, all right, cool. Publish our internal content policy for D&D products and update the D&D core rules. Upcoming, ensure one D&D rules updates are compatible with 5th edition and the SRD. So, things looked up, right? They're going to do the right thing. Well, let's just skip ahead. Skip ahead to 9/22/2023. 6 months later, and 7 months ago, almost, they localized SRD 5.1 in French, Italian, German, and Spanish. Obviously not Portuguese. Again, another sign that they were walking away from that market. More playtest packets. Closed alpha playtest for the virtual tabletop. Now, again, this is back in September. Do you think it's going to be done? Closed alpha was being done 6 months ago. We don't even have an open alpha or a beta or any of that stuff yet. Do you think it's going to be ready for the VTT? The VTT is going to be ready for the release of the player handbook in September? Don't hold your breath. But I'll tell you what else I have to hold your breath for. We'll go through this. Updated our artist guidelines to disallow the use of generative AI for illustration. Wow, they seem to have fallen flat on that one a couple times. Recommissioned artwork from Glory of the Giants and released updated artwork on D&D Beyond. Not too shabby, right? Increased our support for D&D in the classroom, libraries, and beyond. That's awesome. That's what they should be doing, right? We want to bring new gamers into the field. That is awesome. In progress, update the D&D core rulebooks. Which D&D core rulebooks? 2024 books, which aren't out yet? Or, revisions on the D&D Beyond on the core rulebooks to take out words like, I don't know, primitive and civilization and other words that are offensive. Upcoming play activity survey. Ensure the 2024 core rulebook updates are compatible with 5th edition D&D and the SRD. Now, just a little reminder here. They are differentiating between the 2024 core rulebook updates and 5th edition D&D with the SRD. That's interesting, right? It's almost like it's a new edition, but it's not a new edition because you got to be compatible. but it's a new edition. In-house, it looks like they're calling it a new edition. They're no longer calling it 5e. Publish our internal content policy for D&D products. I don't know if they've done that yet. I'd like to see that. That'd be interesting. I'm sure that's going to be episode worthy. Review previous SRD editions for inclusion in Creative Commons. Wow. And that was the last update we had until March of this year, 2024. So what do we get for our update in March? Jasper's dice set update. And by the way, I knew nothing about Jasper's dice set. Now that I know about Jasper's dice set, I'm sorry that I know about it too late. As a 501c3 nonprofit organization, Jasper's Game Day had a mission to raise funds for suicide prevention and awareness. That is an awesome nonprofit to be running, and they raised over $300,000 for suicide prevention and awareness from 2017 to its closure in 2023. I'm so sorry it's closing, and I'm again sorry I didn't know about it prior to this update that the nonprofit has closed. In 2022, Jasper partnered with Hard Dice to produce a TTRPG dice set in support of the charity. The set was replicated digitally on D&D Beyond. All right. Well, that's awesome. And if you bought the dice prior on D&D Beyond, you still have them. And the monies that they haven't forwarded or hadn't forwarded are going to be going to the JED Foundation, a nonprofit organization that supports mental and emotional health and suicide prevention in teens and young adults. Awesome. Well, here we are 6 months later, and the previous update said upcoming, not in progress. Upcoming. That this should be done. Now we're in April. All right. We're in April, so we're 13 months beyond the initial announcement of we're going to put the prior SRDs into the Creative Commons. We just got to make sure that Tiamat and Baumwood or whatever, we don't release IP. Why do I think this isn't going to happen at this point? Well, everything is done to generate profit, right? Even the OGL generates profit under the 5.1. The 3.1 doesn't make any money for WotC. They're not selling anything that's compatible with 3.1. So to release those into the Creative Commons is, I don't know, doesn't help them any. It makes people like me happy and secure that I can finally release Continual Light without having to revise it, to scrape out anything that might go back to the 3.1 SRD that I had to duplicate from the 5.1 SRD. But I could do it. Other people could do it. But so much of this stuff relies upon that SRD. There are no rush to do it, folks. They've proven that. And they've fired so much of their staff that was working on rules. Do you think there's anybody left that remembers the 3.1 rules? Let alone the 3.1 SRD? Do you think this is a priority for anybody at WotC? No, it's a priority for the fans. It's a priority for the third-party creators. It's not a priority for WotC. I no longer expect it. I think that what's going to happen is they're just going to probably try to pretend they never promised this. I'm not saying that they're going to change prior updates. I just think they're going to ignore their own words. I could be wrong. But I don't know. Judge the company from the actions that they've done. And I don't expect much from this one. All right, folks. On that note, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I really do thank you all for the support. It is awesome. Other than that, another video tomorrow, live stream on Wednesday. Myself, Bad Mike, we will have a special guest. Maybe more than one. I don't know. It should be an interesting episode. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well. Back again tomorrow. like, subscribe, comment. Oh, jeez. All right, folks.